Hello YouTube, this is EDT Ginger. Welcome to the land of Skyrim, apparently. Yeah, just kind of bored around. This is what's usually on my table if I don't have a mat. I went to thinking, because I'm tired of making Chaos Dragons with Light Sworn engines. Random milling can screw you over because you will sometimes you have like 10 spells, but somehow you still mill 3 spells in a row, and you can't do anything because you have no darks or lights in your grave, and you're like, crap. Well, I just made a Chaos build without dragons and without Lightsworn. So I want this to become more of a staple. I sealed away Chaos Dragons in that black box. But yeah, I don't have BLS, so basically all I can do is use Chaos Sorcerers and Dad. But yeah, here we go. Let's start with the Darks. Dad, of course, is going to be the main boss monster in this version. We're running, of course, Gores, the double Chaos Sorcerer, as the more of controlled of the grave. One Doom Cow, because he's really good unless you're going against Chaos Dragon. Then they can just pitch a Wyvern and you have to negate it. But I mean, it's still a really good card if used correctly. It's 1900 beat stick if you drop it on the breaker. Since we're not running any MSTs or Lilas, I'm going to go with him, but just one. A Kaiku, especially against the other good builders. You can control who banishes. Basically, you become the only banisher, and you can keep banishing their stuff. If you're hitting Inzectors and they've had their stuff in the grave, for whatever reason you took advantage of their field, you can just banish their stuff, and they can't manage to get, well, not against Inzectors, but other Chaos Dragon decks, they can't banish. Here comes the engine. The engine follows, well, here's the dark part of the engine. Double Mystics, a Sangan, and Summoner Monk. That's basically the engine. I don't really have to explain it. Mystic Tomato goes face down. They pop it, get another one. If they pop that, you get like Sangan or something, add something in your hand. Or special summon this, or you can Sangan to get one of them. I mean, that's just the major dark engine. Sangan can also get some light, can start the other side of the engine too. But that's for the dark milling, which helps Dad and Chaos Sorcerer and stuff. You can also get Gene Exiled Birdman with this, just because he's a really good tuner, and I just like him. But for the 2 hand traps for dark, or double DD Crows, because this card is just boss right now. I'm sorry, but they play Monster Reborn, chain up with DD Crow. Well, there goes their target. Now for the lights, starting off with 1 Ryo. And here comes the engine for the lights, the double Shining Angels. That can search out your 2 DD Warrior Ladies, your Dimensional Alchemist, or your Honest. Basically, if you get Honest, you can bounce back to your hand as soon as they're done after their turn, which is pretty good. You can also Sangan Honest, that's what I recommend doing. But another thing with Dimensional Alchemist, I was kind of teasing around, and I'm only running 1 of each. But with Boudin, basically Boudin will banish itself and turn Dimensional Alchemist into a tuner. Why is this good? This dies, you bring back Boudin to your hand, you can tune again. And you can kind of keep going, or you can pop somehow, or you can just pop a level 4 Synchro for 8, or do something else. But I mean, you can also turn your fairies and stuff. I mean, I'm testing with Boudin. It's one of the new commons that no one really knows about. But basically, you banish it, and you can target one face-up level 4 or lower fairy type monster you control, and it becomes a tuner. So, pretty good, pretty bad, I don't really know. I'm wondering if you turn a fairy type XC into a tuner, I wonder if that means you can just turn, that wouldn't count as a level, because they don't count as levels. I don't know if you can tune with XCs. I'm going to have to ask probably someone, that's probably going to be an advanced thing. Don't run Boudin, in case you, well, yeah, run Boudin. I want to see if that would work. Y'all might want to leave a comment and tell me if I'm wrong, but if you do like one of the fairy type XCs, maybe you can just summon a level 5 monster, Synchro for 5, because that would be the tuner cost and the monster. I don't know, but that'd be cool. I just thought of it. And then of course the Effect Veiler. I'm only running 1 because I only have 1. Double Cyber Dragons, because they're awesome, and a Ghost Ship, which most people don't think of. But I mean, you pop Cyber Dragon down, Ghost Ship, you can XC for 5. I'm running Adrius, of course. But I mean, Ghost Ship's just a 1900 beater that you can special summon for no reason. Basically just banish a light So I mean, it's not a big cost. Oh, and here's for where the opposite type of chaos that no one really notices would ever be put in a chaos deck. Double morphing jar number 2s and double Bazus. Bazu is an old card that people used to use because it just turns into a 25 beat stick, and it can thin out your graveyard, and you can pick and select. And morphing jar number 2 is just amazing in this current meta because you see more Chaos Dragon builds. I just went against a mirror match and I had one in my Chaos Dragon deck. I had a morphing jar number 2. It won me the game because it wasn't expected, and they couldn't figure out how to get around it because I kept other monsters on the field and they didn't want to hit the morphing jar, and I'd flip it the right time and screw up their entire field. So yeah, and they couldn't get anything off because they couldn't send stuff to the grave. It kept going. Either their boss monsters, which I don't think they realized. Their boss monsters, Light Pulsar, can come back. Thank God they didn't mill that, but they milled like 3 red eyes in a row and then like some random card that they put face down. But on to spells, Book of Moon, Monster Reborn, of course, Storm, Allure of Darkness, Dark Hole, I think double pod dualities, because they're not doing as many special summons as we normally would be in Chaos Drag. Card Destruction is another hand draw, and those would be it. Mostly I want to run a good draw engine as well as the good graveyard engine. Card Destruction is really bad against Dark Worlds, but I mean, what you're going to do? It's a really good card in general. It can screw up, it can win you a game if you drop it at the right time. And the 2 traps I'm running are Return from Different Dimension and Starlight Road. Basically speaks for themselves. Okay, onto the extra deck. I did not finish the side deck. All I know is I'm going to start popping these in because Inzectors or Windups, beware. Nico Manking is an old card, but it will come back and it will haunt you. Because that is funny whenever you get it off. Well, I might explain it. I'm pretty sure other people on YouTube have already. Basically, during your opponent's turn, when this card is sent to the graveyard by an effective opponent's spell, trap, or monster card, your opponent's turn ends. So basically, put that down. That's your only card. They're thinking it's a Draco or something because it's a chaos build. So they're using Dragonfly. They pop Hornet. They hit this. They don't get their search or anything. Their turn immediately ends. It is amazing. It doesn't go to the end phase. The turn ends. Think on that, because in my opinion, that's a broken card that never saw play because it wasn't. The metas weren't. The type of archetypes that were being used weren't used to destroy cards. But if that's the only target, of course they're gonna hit the Hornet. In turn, screw you. And then they got 1,000 attack point monster that can't do anything. Alright, now for the extra deck. Number 1, Locomotion RG next, because we're running Genix Sally Birdman. Sorry, I'm having a pretty long night. But if you pop this with Chaos Sorcerer or Monster Reborn, one of their Kais or something, Synchro, you can take their highest level monster. Pretty cool Synchro. Red Dragon Archfiend, just in case I want a 3,000 beater to get over something and I don't want a Scrap Dragon. Speaking of Scrap Dragon, pretty much staple. I'm just gonna keep these faced up just so you can get a good look at them, I guess. Okay. Next we have Stardust Dragon. Then Ancient Fairy Dragon, in case you're going against Necro Valley, and Necro Valley is a pain. Black Rose Dragon, of course. A Brionic, and a Catastor. As the Synchros, they're very good. So, I recommend just playing the heck out of these cards. I mean, they're staples. Nothing more I can say. Alright, now for the Xyz. Utopia. Oh, by the way, it's number 39. Yeah, that's about how many stupid reprints it's gonna get. God, stop. Konami, just one thing. Give us another XC. Don't keep reprinting this one. I mean, it's a good card, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, we don't want 8 different rarities. An exaggeration. We don't want that many of the same monster. I'm sorry. It is your favorite card apparently, but we don't want him as bad as you think we do. 1 Gem Knight Pearl just as a 2600. I took out Maestroke, by the way, for Gem Knight. 17 Leviathan. If I'm winning, I'll go into a 20 just to add more fear to my opponent because I can add. And then there's the Adrius, my rank 5, my Starfoil. Oh, you can actually see it this time. You can actually usually can't see the Starfoils very well. And I don't like Starfoils, but, you know, it's the only good card I got out of all the battle packs I've gotten. No tour guides or anything. So, I mean, I can't complain. I don't need the secret. I'll go with the Jacob from Twilight version, I guess. And last, Inzektor Exobeetle, which is the actual secret. But, yeah, and for the last card in the extra deck is Chimera Tech Fortress, because we are running 2 Cyber Dragons, which is weird to main to. Usually you'd main at one at the most inside the other. But I'm seeing more machines coming back, and I don't like those. Most of the XCs are either machine or dragons. So I'm going to put, of course, Electric Virus in the side deck, and Fossil Dyna, and 2 Smashing Grounds probably, and Royal Decrees, and the Solemn Brigade, and blah blah blah, just normal stuff. You can figure it out, pretty sure. I would love to see this deck see more play. Like, I would like this actual version to see play at all. It's my original one. Completely just randomly thought of it after sealing away all the Chaos Dragons in their box. But let me know. Go on Dueling Network and try it out for yourself. Send me duel videos, comment, rate, subscribe to my channel, do a whole bunch of cool stuff. And I'll love you all forever, but not in a gay way, because I'm not gay. Unless you're gay, I don't really care, but I'm not gay. So I'll see you later.